Mario Party is Nintendo's long-running series of party games featuring the characters of their most beloved franchise. However, not every Mario Party game is made equal. Some are simply better than others. In this video, we'll have a bit of fun and rank the 17 Mario Party games from worst to best. Starting us off at number 17 is Mario Party E, released on the Game Boy Advance in February 2003. It utilized the e-reader accessory, which used special cards to add in minigames. It was mostly used as a way to play old NES games like Donkey Kong 3, Golf, and Pinball. The game came with 64 cards. Amongst those are the 11 E-Challenge cards that allowed players to engage in one of the game's 11 minigames. There are cards to block a player's attempt at stealing another's cards, ones to battle against another player in a minigame to gain the cards. The two most important types of cards are the item cards, which consist of the Superstar hat, clothes, and shoes, and the Superstar cards. The winner is the first one to get the 3 item cards and use the Superstar card. An interesting fact about the game is that it's the only one to not feature Luigi as a playable character, meaning that Mario and Yoshi are the only ones to appear in every single entry in the series. At number 16, we have Mario Party Advance. The 7th game of the series, it's the second handheld Mario Party game after Party E, and was released in 2005. Unlike the other games in the series, Advance was exclusively a single-player game with its Shroom City mode. In there, the player's objective is to collect all the game's 50 minigames and 61 gadgets. Those gadgets are earned by participating in minigames, exchanging coins, or by completing the quests of the inhabitants of Shroom City. The game introduced the concept of the characters moving about with a vehicle which would be reused in future entries. Number 15th is Mario Party Island Tour, released on the Nintendo 3DS in 2013. This entry differs from the others in that instead of the goal being to gain a certain amount of a specific item while going around a board, it instead features a linear board with objectives in the way, and the first one to reach the finish line wins. The game took advantage of the 3DS's hardware in its use of stereoscopic 3D, augmented reality, or the gyroscope. It also used Street Pass in that players could play mini-games together if the 3DS received signals from a console with the game in it. The game features 81 mini-games, the second most of the handheld games. At the 14th spot is Mario Party Star Rush, the second 3DS game released in 2016. This one's particularity is that it ditches the turn-based system of the previous games and instead has every player act in the same turn. This game also features a mode called Toad Scramble in which every player starts as a one-color-coded toad, and as the game progresses, the other characters can be recruited and set as leaders. Toad Scramble features 15 playable boards, the most in the series. The boards in this game are also non-linear. To complete the 3DS trilogy is lucky number 13th, Mario Party The Top 100. Released in 2017, Top 100 is exactly what it says. It takes 100 minigames from across the series and gives them updated graphics and sounds. Due to being a compilation of minigames, Top 100 doesn't have any boards, except for in the minigame match mode, and doesn't introduce any new minigames. Up next at 12th is Mario Party 10. The only game released on the Wii U, it hit the shelves in 2015. This entry reused its predecessor mechanic of vehicles, and alongside the standard party mode, introduced the Bowser Party and Amiibo Party modes. The latter is self-explanatory in that it allows players to scan a character amiibo and play in a board tailored for it with up to 3 other amiibo characters. Bowser Party has one player play as Bowser using the Wii U gamepad. Mini-stars are replaced with hearts, and for Bowser to win, he has to deplete every player of their hearts, while the other 4 players have to reach the Superstar with at least 1 heart amongst them all to win. Rosalina is a new character available from the start, while Donkey Kong makes his comeback as a playable character for the first time since Mario Party 4. At 11th is Mario Party 9. It's the first game developed by ND Cube, the last entry on the Wii, and was released in 2012. It reintroduced the vehicle mechanic from Advance into the main series games. This time around, the player collects mini-stars from the boards, winning mini-games and beating bosses. The one that ends with the most wins. Each board features 2 bosses that the players have to work together to beat, while also trying to increase their individual scores. To kick off the top 10 is the very first Mario Party game. Released in 1998 in Japan and 1999 worldwide on the Nintendo 64, this is where it all started. This game is the one that introduced the now classic Mario Party formula. Select a character, play mini-games, hinder others' progress with items, collect coins, and exchange them for stars in order to win the game. This first game featured 8 boards and 50 minigames. and would go on to be the start of a long-running and successful spin-off series. Taking the 9th spot, we have Mario Party 7, released as the final installment on the GameCube in 2005. Just like its predecessor, 7 uses the microphone feature and has mic-exclusive minigames. It is notable for introducing a mode that allows 8 players to play together, which is possible thanks to having 2 players play on one of the 4 GameCube controllers. 7 features 88 minigames, which places it first amongst numbered Mario Party games and second overall. At number 8 is Mario Party 4, the first GameCube entry, and was released in 2002. While most of 4's features are returns from previous installments, it introduced the mechanic of allowing players to team up in party mode. It also introduced side collectibles in the form of presents, and is also the first one to feature fully 3D rendered boards. Funnily enough, as the game released in America on October 21st and in Japan on November 8th, it's also the first game in the series to be released first outside of Japan. Coming in at 7th is Mario Party 2. The sequel was released 1 year after the first game in 1999 in Japan. 2 is important as it's the first game to introduce collectible items. In the previous game, items were mostly used to add new rules or unlock game modes, but this time they had an actual effect in the game. The characters would also wear outfits that match with the theme of the board. The game also introduced battle, item, and duel minigames, and the ability to practice minigames. 21 minigames from the original game are brought back, and made more challenging. Number 6 is Super Mario Party. Released on the Nintendo Switch in 2018, this game was meant to be sort of a reboot of the franchise, a return to the roots, you might say. The basic 4-player taking turns searching for stars formula returns with some features from newer installments sprinkled in, for example the ally mechanic from Star Rush. The game has 2 modes called River Survival and Soundstage, with minigames exclusive to those modes and gameplay that differs from the party mode. The game also takes advantage of the Switch's Joy-Cons as their motion controls are used in some of the minigames. It is also the first Mario Party game to include online play, as boards and minigames are now playable via online. We're now in the top 5, and to start us off is, well, Mario Party 5. The second GameCube game was released in 2003. 5 would retool the item system first seen in 2, and introduce it as a capsule system, which now allowed players to create traps to hinder the progress of the others. 5 also introduced Super Duel Mode, in which the players do one-on-one battles in vehicles called machines, and Bonus Mode, which has special minigames similar to 4's Extra Mode. The Star Spirits from Paper Mario serve as the game's hosts. In 4th place is Mario Party 3, which is the last game to release on the 64 back in 2000. The game allowed the players to hold up to 3 items instead of only 1. It also introduced a unique feature to it in the duel boards. In those boards, 2 players would go against one another using partners. 3 is the first game to add a single-player campaign, and also the first one to add minigames that could be unlocked and played at any time instead of purchasing them. 3 also serves as the last Mario game to release on the Nintendo 64, except for Australia, in which Paper Mario has that honor. At number 3 is Mario Party 6, released in 2004. 6 introduced the use of the GameCube microphone alongside modes exclusive for it, which was reused in 7. Another new addition is the day and night system, in which every 3 turns spaces would move, new characters would appear, and changes would occur in the minigames, though few of them have any rules changing and it's mostly cosmetic. Coming in second is Mario Party DS. Released in 2007, it's the only entry on the Nintendo DS. It's also the last game developed by Hudson Soft, who had developed all the games up until then. In this game, the characters are shrunk and placed in a mega world. As it is a DS game, it took advantage of the hardware in the minigames by utilizing the second screen, the microphone, and the touchscreen. DS would be the last game utilizing the standard gameplay until Super Mario Party on Switch 11 years later. And at number 1, the best Mario Party game is Mario Party 8. Released in 2007, it's the first game of the series on the Wii, and as such introduced the use of motion controls. Instead of using joysticks and buttons, players now have to perform actions with the Wii Remote like shaking, pointing and shooting, or twisting the remote. Mii's can appear in the crowds, appear in minigames like Sugar Rush, and even be used by the player in Extra Mode. Carnival cards can be collected to unlock features and figures in the game. The game features 6 boards, one of which has the classic exchange coins for a star style, the others have unique ways to obtain them. Capsules and orbs are also replaced by candy, who serve the same purposes except that they cannot be used as traps.
superstar.